afternoon, everybody. I will stand on the existing protocol. First, to say thank you to everyone for staying through and also for supporting our work over the past few years. So what I'm going to do is to sort of thank you. A lot of the conversations all day has sort of validated that there's a common challenge in West Africa and by extension around the world with democratic disruption and all of that. And the documentary, the opening speech of the board chair sort of showed how much of the work that we have done in Ghana in the last 7 years. But as an organization, whilst a lot of the work that we've done in Ghana, we work across 13 African countries, but a lot of the work that we've done in Ghana in the last 7 years have been through first Tubawa Ghana and then CJID bit by bit. From this year, we have a 5-year workflow that would be from Ghana. So I just wanted to, which is pretty much in response to some of the challenges and the issues that the rep of the I've also spoken about. The Kwame Karikari Fellowship, Dubawa Fact-checking Fellowship since 2020. So we are, from Ghana, instituting what we call the West African Fact-checking Network, which is pretty much more all journalists who have been through the fact-checking fellowship and those who will be within the fact-checking fellowship, and that will be an operational, Ghana will be the operational base for that from 2026. Then we have, working with UNESCO, we in the next couple of weeks, we will be working with student journalists. We will be working with university students who are hoping to take on career in media and journalism. So we have a plan to train 40 of such campus journalists, and then we would have them through a 3-day workshop campus clinic, which is pretty much a model that we are replicating in Ghana after doing 47 institutions in Nigeria. So we are starting with 40 students across 2 universities in Ghana from 2026. And then we have 20 of such students who would then be attached after the fellowship, after a 6 to 1 year fellowship with CJID, we would attach them with partner news organization for internships. CJID will pay them directly for that, so that by the time they transition from class to the profession, they have a portfolio of work that helps them become professional journalists in the region. Then we are working with the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the next 2 years on what we call which is the response to shrinking funding in West Africa. So from Ghana, we are working with journalists in Ghana, we are working with newsrooms in Ghana, then in Gambia, in Senegal, and all of those. But from Ghana, we are working with 35 journalists who would be supported with newsrooms with small grants, so they can first respond to the wave of shrinking funding in their newsrooms and also be able to get funding for important investigative work that would help, improve the ecosystem. Then we are responding to climate change and environmental degradation. We have worked with 5 newsrooms already in Ghana in 2020, 2022, 2023, but with UNESCO GMDF, we are working to support journalists who are working on the environment. We call it the Environmental Defenders Workflow. And then this is pretty much in Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, Nigeria. But this is operational from Ghana. And in about 3 weeks, we will be hosting the workshop, the first iteration of the workshop in Ghana, and in response to climate change and environmental issues. And I think if there is any moment where this is important, it's this time where we know a lot of the issues with flooding and all of those things in Ghana. Yeah, we can't talk about the information ecosystem as it were without talking about the age of LLMs, which is generative AI. We have the Cjid'S, Claude, Anthropic, Gemini, which gives capacity to advance this information at scale, impacting elections and especially during political ostentations. So CJID, through our research center, Digital Technology, AI, and Information Digital Analysis Center, DIDAC, We just yesterday concluded a training for journalists on how to deploy open source intelligence tools, digital investigation tools to track deepfake, and then to be able to track foreign influence and manipulation, interference, and to be able to produce very useful investigative reports that helps strengthen the information ecosystem. And if you're looking for an evidence of that, the Cjid'S document that we research that we've done and all of the tracking we've done within the elections in 2024 shows that so that's a very important workflow. So CJID is committing to that from Ghana. We had a workshop the day before yesterday and yesterday. So the fellows would be producing OSINT investigations from next week. Right. Yeah, we've done a lot of this. So we have an iteration of work within 2020, and this is the first Ghana Media Summit. We are going to have the second iteration in 2028. So, which is pretty much more CJID's commitment to the media and information ecosystem in Ghana. And I think it's important to say that we're doing all of this with very talented Ghanaians. And so you will see, and I would appreciate if you can please help acknowledge a lot of the top talents that we have working with CJID Ghana. You'll see Adam, you will see Nathaniel, then you will see Maxine, you see Nathan, Lena, Stephen, and Marilyn. So thanks a lot, and these are the architect and the pilot of the work that CJID is committed to doing in Ghana and beyond. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you.